Frank Wilgus reporting to you from the home of Mrs. Barbara Liptak at 263 Fulton Street in Woodbrige. And directly in front of Mrs. Liptak's home is a scene reminiscent directly of the Long Island Railroad wreck of just a few weeks ago. And also, fire apparatus and ambulances from all of Middlesex and Monmouth County, great many communities are here, working feverishly to remove the injured and the dead from this holocaust. 7 cars of the Pennsylvania train, a commuter train headed for Bayhead Junction in the Asbury Park area, have been derailed. 6 of them are lying on their sides on this embankment just off Fulton Street here in Woodbrige. Personal observation was that the trestle erected just today and used for the first time today on the Fulton Avenue side of the regular Pennsylvania line had collapsed and splintered, sending the cars of this train down into the embankment and some into the street. The cars themselves were buckled and twisted about as though they were bits of wood and not made of heavy steel as they are. The steam-type engine of the train is over on its side ahead of the train, and the tender is buckled back into the street below. Telephone poles are down, and 2 hours, 3 hours, in fact, after the accident, which occurred at about 5:45 this evening, as late as 3 hours after, they were still carrying the injured and the dead from the cars. Thousands of spectators are actually hindering the work of the rescue operation. They're lining the streets, and police are sorely pressed to push them back and keep them out of the way. The dead are being placed on the ground just outside of Mrs. Liptak's home here in Woodbrige, pending identification. Tom Burkhead of the WJLK news staff and myself will make every effort to find the names and bring them to you during our broadcast in the evening. Catholic priests are on hand outside administering the last rites of the church to the people who have been killed in these cars. And the cars are buckled. The heavy steel tenders under the cars tossed about as though they were model railroad trucks. As we say, the scene is one of confusion. Still, first aid squads from Monmouth County have been ordered back to the county area because there are sufficient squads from the Middlesex area here. Fire departments from Rawway, Woodbrige, Perth Amboy, and several other places are on hand. Aerial ladders are being raised over the embankment to the cars as the rescuers go up these aerial ladders and bring down the victims. A morgue has been set up in fire headquarters nearby, and the injured are being rushed to the Perth Amboy and South Amboy hospitals. Now, Tom Burkett, do you have anything further you'd like to report? Tom brings me the news that one car is slipping on the side in the very slippery embankment. It may slide 30 to 40 feet into the street, and efforts are being speeded to shore up the car so that it doesn't slip any further. If it should fall, and we certainly hope that it does not, thousands of spectators will be endangered. The rescue operations themselves will be endangered. Now, this is Frank Wilgus reporting to you from Woodbrige, and Tom Burkett and I will now continue our efforts to bring you the latest news of this wreck of the Pennsylvania Railroad here at Woodbrige.